Level 1 paper, sample paper 2. Let's have a quick look at it. It's 1 hour 30 minutes. There's 3 tasks. Each task is worth 15 marks. So let's begin. So first task is about a table of information about somebody buying a house by the looks of it, a flat. The woman wants the cheapest flat that is on the second floor. Well, second floor is these ones here. It has to have 2 bedrooms, so that's these 3 here, and it is the cheapest one. Well, that's be one of these 3. Has to be this one. It's cheapest, 75,000. Flat and has parking. Has it parking? No, it hasn't got parking. It's not this one. So it has to be this one here. It's the cheapest. It's the second floor and it's got parking. So flat number 11. Price £80,000. Next, she wants to pay a 5% deposit for the flat. Well, it was 80,000. To find 5%, we can divide by 100 and multiply by the percentage, which gives £4,000. £4,000 is a deposit. Next, she begins saving in January. She saved £3,000. How much did the woman save a month? Well, she had £3,000 by the end of the year. Well, there's 12 months in a year. I'll divide that by 12. How much did she save on average? The average is everything you have divided by how many things there are, but there's 12 months in a year. So the average is saved per month is £250. If she continues to save at the same rate, how many months will it take her to save the rest of the deposit? Well, the deposit is £4,000. She has already saved 3,000, which means she has £1,000 to save. And each month she's putting £250 away. So 250, and many 250s in 1,000? 4. Now, the woman gets paid on the last Friday of each month, and the next payday is the 27th of January. That's that one. When she has all the deposit, it will take 6 weeks to complete everything so she can move into the flat. What's the earliest date that she can move in? So she has 4 months to save the money. Uh, this is her first month. So the last Friday of the month will be, where are we here? So that's the next month, that's 2 months. The last Friday of the next month is here, that's 3 months. The last Friday of the next month is here. Yep, that's 4 months. And then it's 6 weeks from there. So the next Friday will be in May, and the first Friday of May is there. And that's 1 week. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. So the 9th of June. 9th of June. Explain why your answer to one is the earliest date the woman can move in. Because it's the earliest move in because she will have the deposit money and it's 6 weeks from uh, when she has the deposit money. So she'll have the money ready in the end of April, and 6 weeks from there brings you to the 9th of June. Draw a table to summarize your results. A table is just something like this. You can make it neater, rows and columns, and put in your items. You can do it shorthand. I'm only going to put a couple in. So the price was £80,000, I think, from the first thing. The deposit was £4,000, and then you can fill the rest in. And that's a table, just your categories. So over here, costs, etc. Filing cabinets. This is a shape and measure. So we've got an office, that's the size of it. What's the area? Well, the area is the length multiplied by the width, the longest side by the shortest, and we have 42 meters squared. Doesn't matter what order you multiply in, you get the same answer. The diagram shows the filing cabinets will go. What's the length on the wall on each side of the door? Well, the length on the wall on the left-hand side was a pretty easy question. That's the left-hand side. And the length of the wall is 1.5. The right-hand side. Well, the right-hand side, we don't know, but we know from here to here is 1.5. We know here to here is 1. And from here to here, we don't know, but we know the whole thing, the whole way across, is 7. How do we know? It tells me up there. Well, 7 take away 1, take away 1.5, leaves 4.5 meters from here to here. 4.5 and 1's 5.5 and 0.5 is 6 and 1 is 7. So we want to see how many of these filing cabinets can fit in. We've got narrow ones, we've got 4 of them, we've got 6 wide. How many of these will fit along the wall? Well, if you remember our wall, draw a little picture. We had a door, we had 1.5 there meters, and we had 4.5 there. So we'll put the narrow ones in first, and the narrow ones are 50 centimeters. Well, 1.5 meters, we need to change it to centimeters, or you could change the meters to centimeters, centimeters to meters. Well, I'm going to change 1.5. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. 1.5 is 150. 2 is 200. 3 is 300. 4 is 400. 4.5 is 450. And I'm interested in that one, and I'm interested in that one. So this is 150. And our cabinets are 50 centimeters. Well, 150 centimeters divided by 50 will give you 3 cabinets. So you can fit 3 in that way. Now, you want to use them all. This side is 450 centimeters. Well, we've still got a narrow one left, so we'll fit it in. This is narrow, narrow, narrow. That's your door. Another narrow one. Well, that's 450. We fit in another narrow one. Well, it takes up a wee bit of space. Takes up 50. So we're now down to 400. And we now have to use the wide ones, which are 80. So you got 400, and you want to see how many 80s go in. Well, we just divide. 400 divided by 80 is 5. So you can fit, what can we fit? We have on the left-hand side, we've got three narrow and no wide. Here we've got 1 narrow, and we have 800, 400 divided by 8 is 5. 5 wide. This sort of question's in my revision book. You want to check it out there as well. How many of each cabinet will you have left over? Well, you used all the narrow, and we've used 5 wide. How many wide did we have? We had 6. So there's 1 left over. Now it asks me to draw them in. Well, the cabinets are, what's it, 50 by 1.5 and 80 by 1.5. And the scale here is there's 2 squares, which is 1 meter. So if 2 squares is 1 meter, 1 square, and these we call these centimeter squares, will be 50 centimeters. And our cabinets are 50 centimeters. So that's 50 and that's 50. And they're 1.5 meters. I remember from the last question, 1.5 was 150. So 50, 100, 150. So they're 3 high, like so. We just draw them in. A wee N. I remember one on the other side, a little N. And now we've got to draw the ones that are 80. Well, we know that one of these big squares, centimeter squares, is 50, and we've got to know what the little ones are. Well, if we know one of these is 50, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 little squares in there. If we divide that by 5, it'll tell us the size of one little square, which is 10. And this cabinet is supposed to be the same height as this, isn't it? So that's 50, and it's supposed to be 80. Well, that's 60, 70, 80. And we draw it in. And we just do the same. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Oh, sorry, these are wide. And we draw them in. I'm not going to draw the rest in now, but that's what we would do. The cost to buy profit. Okay, we've got jeans. Profit equals selling price minus cost per pair. And you got to do it for both types. We'll do it for designer first. Well, the selling price is 80. The cost per pair is 40. Tells me here, take one away from the other, it leaves me 40 quid for the designer. For the own brand, the selling price is 20. Take away the cost price, which is 12, is 8. How many own brand jeans do you need to sell to make the same amount of money as you make from designer? Well, you make £40 from designer, and the own brand are £8. So what you want to find out is how many 8s are in 40. Right, so that's a divide. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So you have 5 pairs of own brand to make the same money as designer. Then we've got to draw a chart to buy, to compare the cost to buy, the selling price, and the profits for each pair of jeans. Right, so there's quite a bit of information there. Well, there's our information. The biggest price is 80, and this is for designer jeans. So we'll get our little table organized. Well, 10, not uh, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of the numbers there. I've got a reasonable scale. And the selling, I'm going to make these skinny because there's quite a lot of bars. The selling price was 80. Ooh, now you'd use a ruler in the exam, obviously. And that was for designer. And for own brand, it's 12. The selling price. Sorry, it's 20 for own brand. I'm going to do 20 here. Now I've got two different columns. I've got designer. I'm going to do them as a wee like that. And I got own brand. A little key. So designer. There we go. And own brand. And that was, what was that? That was the, well, actually done the cost. That's the selling price I've done. Selling. And then the cost to buy was 40 and 12. So 40 for designer. Do a wee bar. Give it a little key. And 12. Well, there's 10, 11, 12. Probably there. 12 for the other one. That's cost. And then I think the final thing was profit. Profit was 40 and 8. So profit for designer was 40. Again, do your little bar as best you can. And profit for the other one was 8. So about there, roughly. And then up here, up the side, we have pounds. So make sure to label it. Now we have the mean. The mean is everything added up divided by how many. So it's for the own brand jeans. That's all these numbers here. So let's add them up. 14, 31, 51, 63, 73, 78, 88, 96, 100, 120, 136, 156, 162, 189, 189, 212, 240 by the looks of it. We add them up. Again, use a calculator in the exam. I'm going to divide that by 12. Why 12? Because there's 12 items, 12 months, and we get 20. So the mean is 20. So the average number of jeans sold for the own brand is 20. Check the answer. Well, our sum was 240 divided by 12 equals 20. We're going to do a reverse check. We're going to take the answer. Instead of dividing, the opposite of divide is multiply by 12, and we get back to where we started from. Work out the range. So the range is the highest, subtract the lowest. Well, the highest number here is 28 by the looks of it, and the lowest was 12, I think. 28 is the highest, yeah, and 12. So 28, subtract 12 is 16. Explain what your answers show you about the numbers of own brand jeans the shops sold. Well, this answer, what your answer shows you about the numbers of own brand. Well, it tells you that the range is quite high. It tells you that sales are inconsistent as range is high. They're going up and down a lot, so some good months and some bad months. Sales inconsistent. Last year for designer label jeans, the mean was 10, the range was 2. From your results, how likely is that the shop will sell more own brand jeans than designer jeans last year? Well, the range doesn't tell you anything about how well or badly somebody sells something. The mean does. Well, last year the mean was 10 for the average, so the number of jeans sold, and ours this year was 20. So this year we've done better. So how likely are we going to sell more jeans this year than last year? Well, very likely, aren't we? It's not certain, but very likely, because we're selling double. Thanks for watching this assessment.